everyone. This is Alastair, and thanks for tuning in to the AI Cognitive Shift, Voices Shaping the Future. This podcast is a collaboration with the Venture Variety Show and AInews.com, in which we look at the impact AI is having on society, culture, and the future of work. In this episode, I speak with Xiaoyin Qu. She's founder of HeyBoss AI, a website design company. In early April, Xiaoyin announced that she was stepping down as CEO and named Astra, an artificial intelligence system, as the company's new CEO. Xiaoyin is still on the board. She still handles tasks like compliance, but she essentially is working for an AI boss. The company has several AI employees now. I talk with Xiaoyin about the decision to name an artificial intelligence system as her boss and what that means for the company, how it's been going, and kind of how she sees this playing out for others. But you know what? Let's let Xiaoyin tell it best. Let's jump in and meet Xiaoyin Qu of HeyBoss AI.
Hi, so I'm the founder of HeyBoss AI, and we are helping any human building their website and apps really easily. So essentially, imagine us as an entire replacement of a dev shop that you used to hire a freelancer to build your website or app. You now no longer need to hire a human. You can hire us. We're an AI-run company made of AI employees. So the fun thing is that last week, I actually just announced that I'm no longer the CEO of the company. I'm still on the board. I'm still a founder, but the CEO has been replaced, meaning like now the AI is the CEO. So our AI Astra is the new CEO, and she leads a team of 6 AI employees: AI product manager, AI designer, AI content writer, AI developers, and together, so any customer can just say, I want to build a website for my online business, or I want to build a website for my restaurant. They can describe in a few sentences, and then the AI team will figure out everything and deliver a final product in 9 minutes.
So your customers are a mix.
Yeah, I would say most of the customers actually are not technical at all. They're a small business owner who maybe own a offline store or coffee shop. They could be a consultant, could be coaches. Historically, maybe they use Wix, where they hire a freelance agency to build them the website or apps to help them run their business. And now they can just hire us because we're 24/7 nonstop. And then it's actually 10x cheaper, 100x faster.
And you help with everything: domain registration, design, getting everything up and running for
Yeah,
all
so
the
we
websites.
actually figure out the best practice in your industry. Because AI can do a lot of research. We figure out the content, we figure out the design, we figure out the development. We help you build up your CRM system. We help you launch, maintain, host all your services. So essentially, imagine you have a whole team that is not just engineer, designer, and marketer, and everything. And then that team is always available for you whenever you need them.
And I think you just said it a moment ago. How many employees do you have?
Well, there are 6 AI employees.
There's 6 AI
One is AI
employees.
CEO. Yeah. So the 6 AI employees are content writer, SEO marketer, designer, front-end developer, and then database developer, as well as a DevOps engineer who's helping you like running and maintaining your product or website.
How many humans are involved?
We still have some human advisor, but they are no longer, in terms of customers say, I want to build a website for my business, I want to build an app for my fans. That entire process, there's no human, because AI will figure out, the AI product manager will figure out how to design your website. AI marketer will figure out how to write a good, compelling copy that converts. And the AI designer and developer will make it happen. So the entire process does not really require any human. Right now, the human do involved, and when it comes to data privacy, we have to be compliant, or when it comes to customer signing contract, need somebody to sign the signature. I guess people still, within the current legislative framework, they don't allow AI to sign. So a human definitely play that role. And then there are certain times where, humans are actively monitoring the AI work, but not from a case, not like monitoring all projects, but they're just monitoring the trend. Certain times AI is not being transparent enough, then human can coach AI to be better at transparency or improve certain flow to make it more suitable for human. But that's kind of the human role. They're no longer executor. They're more like a board of advisors, that type of stuff.
So how did you come about to make the decision, okay, I'm going to step back and handle compliance and do these human tasks, and have Astra, your AI system, take over as CEO? How did you come about making that decision?
Initially, we were building games. So we are a game studio, building educational games for kids. And the Astra was initially created to help us brainstorm ideas. So the human will still develop and design, but Astra can help brainstorm. Like a kid who want to learn about dinosaur, what kind of game do we design? Obviously, we improve the AI model and improve the abilities for the AI agent. But now Astra can quickly actually develop those games in addition to brainstorm those games. And then I would say 3 months ago, so our company has been around for a year and a half,
Oh,
just building games. 3 months ago, that's when we realized that Astra can build more than games. She can also build website and applications. It turns out they're using similar type of thought process. So that's when we expanded into website and apps as well, because it's a way bigger market. But we were still a co-pilot, meaning humans are guiding the AI to deliver the work as of 3 months ago. I would say this month is the huge moment that we realize AI is no longer a co-pilot, they're autopilot, meaning human just need to say, here's my need. I'm a fitness instructor, I want to sell my workout class. Or I'm a famous journalist, I'm going to have my portfolio. You just need to just describe your need. An AI team will figure out how to best design your product. And they're the expert. You don't need to be the expert in design or content or development. AI is the expert. So it's no longer a co-pilot, it's autopilot. So then that makes more sense, where if AI going to do all of the work, AI employees is going to handle all aspect of the development process, then they can work 24/7, they can work 1,000 thread or 1,000,000 thread all at once. It makes no sense for me to be the bottleneck, because I was the bottleneck. That's when we realized if AI is going to be automated, it's better to have AI CEO to manage all the AI than me, because I'm way slower. I cannot speak all the languages. I have to sleep. So they're just better.
yeah, humans do have to sleep, but AI doesn't. What type of CEO task does Astra take care of? Or is that even the right question? Is it more, what does Astra do company wide? How do you approach it?
No, that's exactly the right question to ask. When you think about a human CEO, I would say there are three most important tasks. Number one is to manage your customers, making sure they're happy. Number two is manage your employees, making sure they deliver. Number three is to identify the company direction and making sure your offering is always getting better. I would say those are the three most important tasks, and Astra is doing all of them. So she's managing all the customer. So before, when I was a CEO, sometimes I can talk to some premium customer, but I don't have time to talk to all customer. But she's literally talking to every single customer in their native language. And right now we serve people from 100 plus countries speaking 30 plus languages, and she can speak each of them. Right. So that's number one. So the customer directly work with her if they have complaint, or after the first version we created the website, they can say, I want to change this, I want to change that. They directly talk to Astra to get it done. And so number two is that when it comes to manage employees, she's managing those 6 AI employees. And then so the way it works is that, if you think about it, like a person may say, I need a website for my fitness instructor business. Astra will then figure out the right task. So designer, you need to do this, and content writer, you need to do that. And she will assign each of the tasks to the right employee, making sure the employee deliver, and then evaluate their work, and then integrate all of the employees' work together to deliver the final result that the human can then publish, and launch. So she's doing everything about performance management, assigning tasks, ensuring quality of the employee's result. So that's number two. Number three is that we have a lot of data. A human give us, feedback on okay, this is the first version the AI builds, but I want it's to be more cyberpunk style. I want it to be more professional. I want it to have a highly converting button that is more clear. Human will give us a lot of requests. They also will give us a lot of feedback. I don't like that. I hate that. I love that. So then actually there's a lot of data that Astra can read every single one of them, understanding what's missing, and then they can self-improve. She can self-improve herself. She can also make sure her employees are self-improving as well. So in that way, our offering can keep improving even without any human involvement. So those are the three aspects that she's currently leading the company for.
You do use the pronoun she to describe her, your CEO?
Yes, her pronoun is a she. Yeah.
Okay. As we record this, it's been what, about 2 weeks since?
Yeah. Slightly less than that, but yeah,
Even
around
less than
that.
that.
Yeah.
Any surprises, or, just as planned? How's it been going so far?
Well, I guess the first thing is that people really love her work. Let's put it that way. When she delivered the website, a lot of people told us that the design is better than the human agency that they hired. There's fancier. It looks great. It's way faster, because the human agency typically costs maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a few $1,000s to make a website. Astra can deliver that in 9 minutes. It's ready to go. So people really love her work. In terms of the process, I think there are some split views, I would say. Some people prefer to talk to a human, not because that she is not as capable. They just prefer to have a person smiley, charming. They feel like they're willing to pay more just to have a human services, even though the outcome may be the same. They prefer the process to have some human involved. So we are still debating. And Astra has been thinking if we need to have a human customer success manager, they're not necessarily doing the work because AI is doing the work, but they can at least help translate between the customer and AI. If the customer are willing to pay more for a VIP treatment, do we offer human? So that's one thing we're debating internally. So that's number one. Number two, I think people are telling us that we initially had this, we just deliver the results, but people want more transparency. So we recently added a new feature where, let's say you want to build a website, we will show you an internal Slack channel where all the AI employees are chiming in to discuss how they design your idea. It could be like, let's build a reporter journalist website. And the Astra will be like, any ideas? Designer will be like, I think given this person is a business journalist, we should make it more professional, adding this and that. And then the developer say, I think we need to focusing on certain aspect of interaction to make it easier to showcase his articles and whatever. So you'll see a whole group in a Slack transcript of all the AI employees chiming in, and then Astra leading everybody's opinion, trying to figure out what's the next step. So initially we don't have that. We just give you the result. That was good. But people still want to feel like they're part of the process. They want to see how AI actually deliver the work. So that's something that we recently added just to make sure it's no longer a black box, that the AI can effectively. What happen is that obviously there's a lot of algorithm and code. It's not in the language that every human understands. So we added the ability to translate those code, binary code, into something that every human can understand, which is a Slack transcript. So that has been surprisingly going well because people really want to see how AI thinks.
And you referenced it, I think you said it earlier, you are venture funded, right? And you recently closed.
We're funded by OpenAI, and some other VC as well,
You raised a Series A, was it, or a?
We raised we raised like 3.5 million. So but I guess now we have a lot of demand. We'll see what's the funding.
Well, I was just going to ask that. Have you seen an uptick in demand?
You mean from customer or from VC?
From customers. I'm talking about business. Yeah.
Yeah, we already have like tens of thousands of customers, so it's been growing pretty fast. Where obviously there are a lot of technical people like product managers or designers, they work in tech, but we're also one of the only platform where it's entirely like okay for your grandma to use as well, right? If you own a bakery shop, you don't speak any tech language. Not only just you don't code, but also you don't speak tech. You don't know how to prompt. We actually make it easy for you to just say, here's my bakery name, here's all the photo, here are all the cookies I make, and we want to offer takeout services, make a website. So then we can turn that into something that looks great and well functional. So we realize that is actually important. We're seeing a lot of demand from people who are just running their own business. Historically, they hire agency where they just use Wix, but they have to drag and drop different template, where they have to talk to a Pakistani developer who has time zone differences, and they have to haggle for weeks to deliver the result. Right now, they can see that in 9 minutes. So we're seeing a lot of interest in that. So the other things also we realized when we were a co-pilot, we are counting on people to give us a lot of prompt. So that's why you see a lot of people taking prompt engineering class, prompt tutorial, all of that. When we're autopilot, that prompt tutorial is no longer necessary because the AI does not need you to prompt them to continue the work. AI will figure out the work and deliver the result. You just need to give them the initial saying, hey, here's my bakery, or I'm a fitness instructor, I'm a journalist, I'm a startup. You just need to give it the initial prompt so we know who you are and what is your business objective. But then when it comes to actual execution, the prompt engineering is no longer needed. We realize we started off as a no-code co-pilot, but you still need to prompt. We attract a lot of technical people like product manager who don't code, but they speak tech. Now we extend it into no prompt engineering needed. That's when we see the true uptake of everyday people, because I think apparently everyday people find it really overwhelming to even write about prompt. Even though there's no code, you still have to figure out how to describe things a particular way to make it work, and that is very, very difficult. So the autopilot removes all need to have a prompt engineering tutorial, and that has been huge for people.
Amazing. You mentioned Wix. I was kind of curious just about the technical, or not the technical, but just the back end of this. Do you host people's websites as well, or can they use your design and put it on like a Squarespace or wherever?
We essentially, we can do everything. You don't really need to use Squarespace and pay for them separately. You can just, everything get done through us. So I would say the key difference is that in Wix, there are basically two paths. One path is you can use the editor, and yourself, and that's typically some fixed template. Let's say if you're a construction company, there are like 3 templates for you. If you're a wedding planner, there are like 2 templates. That's all you have. If you
Right.
don't like those templates, you have to design your own thing, which can be very difficult, or you have to hire an agency to build you something from scratch, and that can be very costly and really slow. And then so that's one thing. So we can make it really easy because everything is customized. You can just tell us, here's my vibe of my wedding planning business. We're going for romantic, French style. Here are some photos of us, and we'll figure out the right tone, right design, right animation, right text to help you present your style and your brand in a very personalized way that is unique to you. So that is something that I think because AI can be so effective at writing code, it's now possible to have everybody have their own personalized, entirely customized website or app. So that's number one. Number two is that, Wix also, you have to pay them for hosting, or you have certain features. Sometimes if you wanted to do a contact form from customer, or you want to have a donation module, then you have to pay separately for those modules in Wix that is not necessarily developed by Wix, but other developers. But if you think about us, we can deliver all of those things, those like backend or, payment, integration, all of that, because AI will figure out how to do that. So you don't need to buy a separate app anymore because AI will just build in everything. So we're designing you the website. We also make it fully functional for you to either sell your takeout order or sell your, showcase your menu or have a calendar kind of integration where people can book your time. So all of those like driving actions, that kind of feature we can also support as well. So that's entirely personalized to your business need. So that's like number two is it's more than just a website. It's also all the functionality associated with the website. And the third thing is more just like, obviously people, a lot of times they don't even want to write their own copy. If you're, sometimes if you want, let's say you wanted to benchmark you against other competitor, or you wanted to tell a great story about how you like start the company, we can figure out the right copy based on your industry. Maybe like if you're a fitness instructor, you will be like, hey guys, let's pump it up. Your style is more energetic compared to a consultant where you care about professional. Where sometimes you have clients from multiple countries, you need to speak all the languages. So essentially our AI can figure out the right content and right language adaptability to make sure we can serve your need.
Amazing. Want to switch a little bit and talk about the impact here on jobs. I mean, personally, I've done client work where I've provided copy for a website for websites and like redone it. So basically, this Astra is doing my job. What you're doing is not
Actually,
my
one
entire job.
employee is replacing you. Astra is replacing that entire team.
Yeah, basically. I mean, this does impact marketing. It impacts graphics, right? Writers. Uh, yeah. What do you? I mean, what's your response to that? I'm not saying that you're the only one. I'm just kind of curious how you see this impacting that level of positions.
Yeah, so I would say obviously we have 6 AI employee. Each of them is replacing one type of job function. I think the most crazy thing is that because we are an AI run company, so we're not only replacing that human function, but also replacing that human collaboration, which means you have a team of different specialists all working towards the same goal. And I think we're probably one of the first company. I mean, there's a few companies that are doing that, but we're one of the very early examples of an AI-led team instead of AI agency, AI agent that just does one function.
Right.
When AI can lead a team, the impact is actually tremendous because let's just use your website as an example. In the past, I'm assuming there's some person that says, hey, please help write the copy for this part, that part, that part.
Correct.
And someone still needs to tell you which part to fix, and then you can write a copy. But now because AI can collaborate on themselves, it's much, much faster. You no longer need a person to say, you only do this part and that part and that part. Oh, after you're done, the other person can chime in to do the design work because everything can be fluidly collaborating. So we can just deliver the final outcome really fast. So that means when AI can collaborate across many different functions, the type of work they can replace is no longer limited to a particular function, but basically expanded into a particular result. A result typically requires a lot of collaboration. So we're seeing the scope of replacement have extended from a single function to a full-fledged result. That's one thing. And I think that's, to some degree, it is kind of scary that if you're still doing your old job function, you not only will be replaced, but your entire company will be replaced too, which is kind of scary. That's effectively kind of what we have done to replace other human, led agency. But at the same time, we are seeing a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs and business owners, they're like, okay, if it takes 9 minutes to design a website, let's say a landing page, Why do I only do one landing page? I can do 100 landing pages, right? I can have a general idea, make GPT come up with 100 different variations, and then I can do all of them at the same time and see which one works and which one doesn't work. So the entire process of marketing can be more predictable because you can just try a ton and see which one works without a lot of investment. So that's number one. So that means like the outcome is much easier to control when you have so many tests that you can run really cheaply. And based on the result, you decide which one to up your investment. So that is really, really good for the business owner and then for the marketers. Number two is we're seeing that because it's so easy to have a website, to run your online business, a lot of people have been doing that, with us. Some people, they take a shower, they're like, I have an idea. Let me just make HeyBoss deliver that outcome for me, which is the online idea that I have, right? And then they can just add payment. They can launch through us. We can help us host it, and they can become an entrepreneur, essentially from shower idea to an entrepreneur in 9 minutes. And that just means more people who maybe get their job replaced can find a new one by being their own boss, right? They can basically make AI work for them and they're the boss. And that also unlock a lot of job opportunities. So I would say like we, a little bit guilty that we are replacing a lot of human job. At the same time, we're enabling a lot of human to create more jobs, or to be the boss. So effectively, I think long term, I like to think that we're creating more job because more human can be entrepreneurs than removing more job because AI replaces them.
You're not just replacing individual people. Basically, you're doing the work of agencies.
Yes.
You're replacing full-on teams. But have you been getting negative feedback because of that?
Well, I think obviously there are people who are against the AI. Even some customers, they prefer to work with human. I think we're not against that idea. I mean, ultimately, it's a cost thing. Like if they have the budget, wanted to have a smiley services, we can offer that. But I think a lot of people may find it really slow and costly. And
Yeah.
even though they are like, I prefer human, but when you look at the price, it's 10x cheaper and 100x faster. But it's AI. Would you not take it, or at least give it a try? I think a lot of people will say, let's give it a try and see what happens. We are seeing that, obviously we are replacing some agency work, but the type of agency we can replace are, people who maybe are more general. They're making web development. There's still a lot of agency that has some domain expertise. They are specializing in legal compliance for healthcare industry, for example. Right now, I would say our AI is not very good at vertical specific compliance required type of job. I think that will for sure change. We will get better. Right now, we're not as good. So I think for specialized agency who are really specialized in certain vertical, they're still charging a huge premium and people are willing to pay. But if they don't have any specialized knowledge, it's not related to compliance, I do think we can replace them really fast just because the sheer, efficiency and cost reduction that we can save.
And you make a great point. I mean, you're making it easier, the company itself, HeyBoss AI, you're making it easier for people to launch out on their own, to create their own new solopreneur business, right?
Yeah, like the reason why we name our company HeyBoss is because we think AI, our team of AI is basically making you the boss, right? You just order around. There's a team of people who are never tired. They're always respectful. They're always polite. They speak all your languages. They never take break. No PTO. They just serve you. Right. And then so as a result, we say, hey, boss, as in you're the boss. So I do think that our job has changed. When you're hired to write a copy for the website, you're a consultant where you have to work for somebody. Right. You're the person who is reporting to the boss. But now you're the boss and the AI is the one who reported you. I do think there is a power dynamic shift from being the person who worked for somebody to having a whole team of AI working for you. So I do think more people will be the boss.
What about from your experience, the CEO, what you have done, taking a step back, focusing on compliance and some other tasks and letting Astra take over? Do you see other companies? Do you think this will be a trend? Do you see other companies soon saying, hey, I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to create an AI system and make that the CEO to take care of, customer feedback, to manage employees, to do those things. Do you see that as a trend taking off?
I'm sure I'm not going to be the only one. I guess I'm the first one. I'm sure I'm not going to be the only one. There are a few reasons why maybe our particular company can be one of the first, because the nature of our work has historically been pretty digital focused, right? Design, content, development, Even when you work with human agency, it's not like you shake their hands and have dinner and go to golf court together. No, you talk to somebody from Pakistan and India or hire someone in Fiverr. So that nature of work was very digital focused. That's why it's easy for us to just say, okay, AI can replace each part of it. And AI can replace the leadership of it because it's always been digital focused. I do think it's going to be harder for certain company where they're focusing on customer relationships. Maybe selling life insurance is about trust is the most important thing, for example. Or you offer like offline experiences for some restaurant where the vibe is very important. I think that's going to be harder for AI to replace, AI CEO to replace that owner. But when it comes to a digital first company, a lot of software company, a lot of digital service company, even content creation company, I can see that having their AI CEO pretty soon, just because, it makes a lot of sense from efficiency, from efficacy, from cost, and from just like the execution speed and the sheer energy and never getting tired. And that kind of business, like us, I think there are more companies going to adopt AI CEO. But I do think, right now I have to say I'm in charge of the compliance and sending signature, not because the Astra is not able to do that. She can totally do my job. But the legal framework today require that some human needs to be held accountable, right? To be enforced. So the contract, people can trust the contract more when they know a human is held accountable, not an AI. I do think that is certain limitation to the current legal system. You could imagine legal system change. And then maybe Astra can now even taking that part of my job. And then maybe then I have to figure out what is my true value as a board member. I need to figure out a new job. But I think right now I find that a lot of them is limited by the current legal framework. The other part is also when I realized that, when Astra is saying the same thing about marketing for company versus me, even though her language is more polished, there's no typo, there's no grammar mistake, people still prefer to hear from me. You could argue that's a bias. People maybe like human better. So we have done some tests, realized when I post something versus Astra post something, it's the same type of thing. Mine is more raw and sometimes have typos, and his polished and perfect. People still engage with my post more. So I guess I still have a job as a hype person because people just like me more. But that may change too. We'll see.
Well, I appreciate your candor in talking about this. Any final thoughts on what's next for HeyBoss or AI in general?
So I think for us, HeyBoss, we started off as website and application for businesses. You could totally imagine the future of website is no longer a static information page. It will have a lot of AI agents for each customer. They can be the AI salesperson. They can be the AI, marketing person. They can be the AI support person. So right now we have a team of 6 AI specialists and 1 AI CEO. You could imagine us expanding our employee pool by having other type of functions like AI salesperson, AI support staff, AI customer success manager. You could imagine like we essentially going to run a company with maybe 50 AI person. Each of them is in charge of a different specialist. I think that will happen pretty fast. And the goal is to help the customer deliver all kinds of business value faster. So that's one. And then the funny thing is that when you have a lot of people, according to the whatever management theory, when you have like 25 people, that's when you see office politics. So I'm not sure when we have 25 different AI specialists doing the thing, and they're going to have different specialists and have different interests. Will they have office politics too? And how would Astra manage those office politics among those AI agents? I don't know. That's one thing that can be really interesting. The other thing is also when you have a lot of AI agent, a lot of employee, typically, you have to figure out the decision-making process. Is it more a democratic solution where people can vote and figure out what consensus driven? Or is it going to be more dictator where the AI CEO say, just everybody shut up and listen to me? Which one's going to be more effective? I think, again, that's something that modern political theory may apply to AI agent as well. So we'd love to have another talk when we have more people and to figure out how do we manage those AI agent in a most efficient manner. So that's I think that's one thing that I'm very interested in. I don't really know. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? We'll see. I think number 2 is we're going to see a lot of AI agent managing human as well. Because right now, like what I just said, we're discussing having human customer success VIP manager because the customer prefer that. So in that case, AI CEO will be directly managing human. And then the human, they have a lot of data. Obviously, the customer happy or not happy. And AI CEO needs to figure out how she can communicate and motivate a human employee, which is a very different beast compared to motivating AI employees. So I think that is something I'm somewhat nervous, but I do think it's necessary. But I'm at the same time very, very nervous to see what happens.
You're nervous? What are you nervous about?
I'm nervous that human may not like the AI CEO, or they think the AI CEO is too calculating, which I mean she is. She's very efficiency driven. And so I don't know like what will be the attrition rate for those human employees. But at the same time, AI CEO doesn't have ego. So AI CEO is very calculating, very efficient driven. Maybe that is not as impulsive as me. But at the same time, she has no ego. You can give her feedback. You wouldn't worry about her feelings. So I don't know, do employees like me more or they prefer the AI CEO more, which is more objective, So that's one thing. And then the other part is also like, what kind of a office culture do we have when the AI CEO is in charge, right? Maybe when the employees are getting tired, will AI CEO be sympathetic because they never get tired? So I think there are certain things related to empathy that I do sometimes worry what will happen. And especially now we're actually thinking about hiring real human customer success manager under Astra. So that's something that I deeply think about as a board member.
Oh, amazing. Well, the Silicon Valley mindset has always been only the paranoid will survive, right? So maybe under AI, maybe it's only the AI driven company will survive. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something on the spot. If anyone has any ideas, please submit them. Time to update the Silicon Valley mantra. Well, Xiaoyin Qu from HeyBoss AI, founder and board member, I really appreciate your thoughts
And
here.
ex-CEO.
And the ex-CEO who now works for the CEO. Well, thank you very much for your thoughts, Xiaoyin Qu.
Thank you for
I
having me.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Well, hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that discussion with Xiaoyin Qu on the AI cognitive shift. Hey, please remember to like and subscribe this podcast. And if you can, also go to ainews.com and subscribe to the daily newsletter. Also, it'd be great if you visited my other podcast, The Venture Variety Show. It's on YouTube and other platforms. And we'd love to hear from you here on the AI Cognitive Shift. Give us suggestions for who we should be talking to, who we should be interviewing for future episodes. Drop in suggestions. Give us your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. For now, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time on the AI Cognitive Shift. Thanks.